Welcome everybody to the 2026 edition of the San Diego 100 race video. We're here at Hopnonymous, which is one of our big beer sponsors. Great beer. If you have a chance, they have 2 locations down in San Diego. Come check them out either before the race if you want or after the race. So a few details of race week. Starting Thursday, we will be at start finish at Lake Cuyamaca. From 3 to 5:30, we will be handing out bibs, t-shirts, everything except the tracker. You'll have to get your tracker on Friday morning when you check in. We like to charge them overnight just to make sure the battery life is there and everything's good. You can also check in Friday morning, but we would prefer you check in Thursday just to avoid the crowds at start finish on race morning. You can also on Thursday leave your drop bags at start finish. Just a word of caution, they will be inside a tent, inside a bin. We can't guarantee they won't be pillaged by geese or any other kind of living animal. But if you want to drop them off, feel free. They've been safe in years past.
When you pick up your bib, even if you pick it up Thursday, you need to check in Friday. Why? Because we need to know you're on the course, and we're going to give out the trackers on Friday morning. So even if you get your bib Thursday night, you still need to check in, but it'll be a lot quicker. We can just give you your tracker, check you off, and you're on your way, as opposed to giving you all your swag and everything like that.
Yeah, and then you don't have a bag to deal with all your swag, so it'd be great if you do. So speaking of trackers, you will pick them up Friday morning when you check in for the final time prior to the start. When you're finished, we will not give finisher sweatshirts until we get that tracker back. We had a lot of issues chasing people around last year. We'd like to make it a little simpler. So in essence, you'll cross the finish line. You will get your buckle from either BJ or me, and then you will proceed down. Hopefully what we can make is somewhat of an obvious chute, so you can go to a table and exchange your tracker for a finisher sweatshirt.
If you are one of those fast people that finishes before 6 in the morning, under 24 hours, there's going to be hot food at the finish line, like chili and hot chocolate and some other things. If you finish between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m., then we will have our food truck there, Beach Eats. They'll have burritos. They have regular and vegan. Runners eat free. They're very reasonably priced for families and things like that. There'll be a lot of drinks at the finish, free drinks, beer, soda, all that kind of stuff. We'll have all that.
We will have a keg from Hopnonymous, so it'll be good beer.
Excellent. So one rule at our start finish line, however, and this is something unfortunately we have to emphasize. Every year we have a little bit of a problem with someone bringing a dog. So we are not anti-dogs. We all own dogs and we love dogs. But we are very limited with what our insurance will allow with dogs allowed with the runners. So if you have a dog, you're going to be asked to be away from the runner finishing chute, way towards the back where there's shade. There's water, there's benches, there's shade, but we can't have dogs in the area with the runners. And that obviously applies on course. No dogs in the aid station, no dogs on trail, and it's going to be really hot. So you can't just leave your dog in the car. That's going to be really bad, obviously, for the dog. So please, we love dogs. It's really best if you just leave your dog at home, if at all possible. If you can't, the only place they're allowed on course is in the shaded area, well away from the runners at the finish line. So let's talk about parking. So parking, as you will see from the rest of our video, is kind of our number one issue out there at the aid stations at start finish. It's just there aren't facilities necessarily to host a race our size. So at the start finish, we give our solo runners priority parking. So they will mostly be in the upper lot, which is located a lot closer to the start finish. All non-solo runners will get the lower lot, which is a little further away. It's not a big trek, but when that fills, then we start using satellite lots and so on, and it just gets extended further and further out. So one thing is we cannot have large vehicles in the upper lot by the start finish. Even if you're a solo runner, the spots aren't big, and we have to have room for an ambulance to be able to maneuver all the way in and through. And you'll see it's tight quarters. So if you come in a giant truck, if you come in a Sprinter van, if you come in, I don't know, people have brought all kinds of stuff in the past. If it's just too big, they're going to be asked immediately to go straight to that lower lot just because we don't have room for you. Another slight change this year, it was brought to our attention that folks were parking overnight at the lake. That is absolutely verboten. The lake is very generous to let us use their facilities, and they have asked that we do not have anyone sleep overnight in that parking lot. So if you're coming in from out of town or something like that, unfortunately, you can't crash at the lot. If you look at your emails, the lake has given us extremely generous rates. Go back, take a look, book something cheap through the lake. It's not expensive. The rangers will ticket you if you're parked on the side of the road. The rangers will ticket you if you're at a trailhead. They're really enforcing it. So unfortunately, we just got to crack down on that. So no parking overnight at the start finish.
Yeah, so Lake Cuyamaca does have campsites. You can car camp, you can tent camp, you can RV camp. There's also Green Valley, which is one of our aid station stops. There's plenty of camping spots there, as well as Paso Picacho, which is only a few miles from start finish. So there's plenty of opportunities if you want a car camp, tent camp, but please, not the side of the road, not in the lake spot. All right, so we are at Sweetwater aid station, which is mile 41, 41 and a half, depending on your GPS and how long or short it travels. Once again, this is a state park fee area. So if you've paid at Green Valley, you're fine for the day. There's a QR code there. You can punch your license plate in there. But here it's cash only. So if you haven't paid at Green Valley, you've got to pay cash here. This is a critical pivot point aid station, almost halfway through the race. Last year it was warm. We saw a lot of carnage here. So a lot of people down on fluids, depleted on nutrition. So you really need to take your time at this aid station, get through it and get healthy and make sure you're good for the back half of the course. So let's talk a little bit about etiquette, runner etiquette, crew etiquette. From a runner perspective, just be kind to everybody. I don't think we have emphasized enough. Our crew, 250 plus, they're out here to support you. They're not here for them. They don't get paid. They don't get any accolades except for from us and from the runners. So please, when you roll into an aid station, if you're feeling crappy, internalize it. Be kind to the aid station volunteers. In addition, be kind to other runners. We're all here having fun. No one's gonna win a cash prize. No one's gonna get a sponsorship out of this race. Please be kind to runners. Approach them with kindness. Pass them when you can. Don't be a jerk thinking you're gonna win a world record here. Also, don't cut the course. No reason to cut the course. We want to keep the trails. We don't want to cut new trails with extra foot traffic. And finally, don't litter. We keep our permits year to year because we work well with the rangers, we work well with the park services. They understand that we sweep well, we clean up well. You're part of that. There's plenty of trash cans at every aid station. We don't want to see litter on the course. One other thing to mention is going to the bathroom on the trail. So I think our race book says we prefer you not to, you're not supposed to. If in a dire emergency you must, go off trail, bury it. I think you all know the drill, do the right thing. There will be porta potties dispersed throughout the course at 5 or 6 aid stations, so there'll be ample opportunities to use the bathroom in a porta potty, or for example here at Sweetwater, there are flush toilets. There's also flush toilets at Green Valley, so do the right thing. If you can wait till a porta potty or a flush toilet, please do so.
Okay, now we're going to talk about crews, and issues with crews are the number one threat to our permits. So it is vital that your crew follow instructions. So if you're a solo runner, fast forward. Solo runners though, make sure you know you get no spectators, you get no crew, you get no social media influencers, you get no drones, you get nothing. All you get is our amazing volunteers who are gonna do a great job by you. But keep in mind, still, that last half mile, the solo rules are off. From the picnic bench into your finish, you can have whoever run with you and watch you finish. That's fine, just nobody on the course. Okay, crews. All right, crews are the number one threat to our permits. We are very hard-ass about our crews. We really love the crews. We know they're a vital part to what a lot of you guys are gonna do, but we have some restrictions that are very important to follow because of the limitations we have out here on the course. So, there is a crew parking pass that you are going to be issued to your crew. It does not go to you, it goes to the crew. Why is that? Because there is a crew briefing immediately after the start. And we will issue your crew pass then. Every crew gets one. You are allowed one crew pass. If you have multiple cars, you have to consolidate into a single car. If you have people showing up later, that crew pass has to be passed down. That includes pacers. Pacers can't park without a crew pass. You get 1 car per runner. Why is that? Well, this is our biggest aid station at Sweetwater. There's 75 parking spots. There's gonna be something like 150 crews. So, wow, that's carnage. How is this ever gonna work? Well, I'm glad you asked that. So, the first thing you shouldn't do is go, oh, there's limited parking. I'm going to drive as soon as possible to make sure I get the good parking spot. That's not how this works. It's just not going to work that way, because then everyone is there for a limited number of parking spots. What we need to do is make sure you know where your runner is. That's why we got runner tracking. You can tell where your runner is. You will see what mile they are on. You will see what mile the aid station is. Our rule this year is you cannot be in the aid station until your runner is 3 miles out from the aid station. And guess what? Sweetwater, cell coverage, 0. Green Valley, cell coverage, almost 0. So how do I?
0.
How do I track my runner? You go to start finish. From start finish to Sweetwater or Green Valley is 15 minutes. You go to Descanso, where there's a great cafe. What is the time limit from there? 15 minutes. You go to Alpine, which is basically a suburb of San Diego. How long does it take to get here from Alpine? 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If your runner is 3 miles out, you're gonna beat him by a ton of time. So consider where you are. You will not be able to track your runner from Sweetwater or from Green Valley. Do not immediately go to those aid stations. Go somewhere where you have cell service. Track your runner. Oh, they're about 3 miles out. I'm now going to head to the station. I'm going to crew my runner and do an awesome job and keep them cheery and happy. I'm also going to follow the instructions of the aid station volunteers and captain. So please, 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 these are super important rules. We can no longer have crews at Penny Pines because no one could follow those instructions last year. So it's super important you follow these instructions so that we can continue to use these places for crews, and we can continue to have crews help at the race. It is a real deal. Remember, 3 miles out, I'm gonna go see my runner, and I'm gonna be someplace where I can track my runner. Okay, and we're gonna talk about parking here for a minute. We are currently in the United States Forest Service jurisdiction. So those aid stations that you can visit include Pioneer Mail, that includes Meadows, it includes Red Tail Roost. You have to have a parking pass to do that. You can get one for $5. We have a QR code that we're gonna show you that has the information. You can scan it. You can also buy them at the Mount Laguna store. You can buy them in Descanso. You can buy them at Mount Laguna. There's all kinds of places where you can get them. REI. If you have a Parks Pass, your Parks Pass is good in the United States Forest Service. So put it on your dashboard and you're all good. Now, there is also state park jurisdiction. This will include Green Valley, Sweetwater, and Sunrise. At those aid stations, you have to pay a state park fee, which is a $10 daily fee. The good news is you pay it once and you're all good. For those going to Green Valley, you will probably have someone in a kiosk to check you in. If not, there is a place to scan right when you go in to get your parking pass. They will be checking. So make sure if you're going to Sweetwater, Green Valley, or Sunrise that you have a state parking fee for the day. 10 bucks, it's not ideal, but pay the 10 bucks. It goes to, you'll see the improvements they're making in the park, so the money stays in the park. So it's good for them and it's good for us because then we don't get in trouble.
Last but certainly not least, probably the most important piece of this stop is to recognize and introduce our sponsors. Truly, without our sponsors, this race would not be possible. So first I want to mention Rabbit. Rabbit has been a wonderful sponsor for the past several years for us. They supply shirts like this at a great rate for our key volunteers. They're also supplying the shirts that you all will be getting when you check in at the start line. Another one of our longtime sponsors is Tailwind. They got a special place in our heart. We were their first 100-mile race that they ever sponsored. So they've been a longtime great companion. You'll see it at every aid station on the course. So we're happy that they're still with us.
Rich, do you know what flavors they're gonna give us?
I believe there is mandarin, orange, and a berry flavor.
Fantastic. And
Yes.
is there caffeine?
There is caffeinated and uncaffeinated, so we will have both at the aid stations.
Fantastic. Perfect.
Our newest sponsor for our gel this year is Untapped. It's all natural, organic, easy on the stomach, very well digestible. So welcome to the family, Untapped.
Yes, and you know, when we were looking for a gel sponsor, we thought, how can we best represent the vast tracts of maple trees here in San Diego County? So we naturally immediately thought of Untapped. I'm gonna enjoy one right now. Syrupy, delicious.
You can't have an ultra race without red vines. Who doesn't want red vines at mile 1 and mile 99?
After red vines, we have Tiali coffee. So this will be the coffee at your start line. They're local, they're both ultra runners. The coffee's delicious. Go ahead and go online and look them up and grab yourself some Tiali coffee. Man, good thing we're getting out here to get a little hike in to get our legs ready for San Diego 100.
On your left!
All his bud, he went right past us like nothing.
I know, cruising.
Go get it! Oh man, look out, here comes that guy again. Look at him haul. Woo! Dude, you're killing it. Hey, what do you do? This is like your second time. What are you doing?
Ready for San Diego 100.
That's fantastic. Dude, you're crushing it. What's your secret?
Tiali coffee.
Whoa, we gotta get some of that.
We gotta get some of that.
All right, so just another plug for some of our sponsors. We have a brand new sponsor this year, and that is Speedland Shoes. RunSpeedland.com is their website. Great company. You can put tons of miles on their shoes. You can ship your old shoes back when you're done for free. They deconstruct them and they recycle every single piece. The other cool thing about the company that I learned is they give 10% of their profits back to outdoor nonprofits of their sponsored athletes' choices. So check them out, runspeedland.com. They'll have a big presence at start finish. They'll have some shoes to demo.
I think they're gonna have a special surprise maybe too, right?
You may have a special surprise somewhere on the course or after the course. Two other great sponsors that we need to mention. And Gingy, they're a fantastic sponsor. They've been great to us over the years. Best socks on the planet, if you ask me. If you're not wearing Ngingis, you should switch today. And finally, Boco is our hat sponsor. So every runner will get a hat made by Boco. It's a custom hat made for us. It's got a Howie Stern photograph on the front. And so special shout out to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And these hats are fabulous, and we want to thank Howie Stern for this too. Every year, it's got a different shot of the course and a different part of the course. So it's kind of some of the legacy that we're trying to build. Depending on what year you run, you're going to have a different picture of something, but they're all pictures that are actually from the course that are going to be on your hat, as well as our logo. And these hats are super cool.
And they're super comfy and they're great for running.
While you're out on the course, you will see confidence markers about roughly every 3 to 5 minutes running time. Okay, so if you're faster, it might come up sooner than that, and if you're walking it, it might take a little longer. But every basically 3 to 5 minutes, you'll see a confidence ribbon. And then at the turns themselves, which we'll get into in a minute, at the turns you will see multiple ribbons. So if anytime you see more than one ribbon, pay attention. That means that something is happening. To mark said turns, we will have various signs which are being blown all over the world right now. We will have a sign that says to turn one way or the other way. You might have a sign that looks like this or that looks like this, and you could even have a sign that looks like this and like this. So there are, oh, look at that, BJ, look what I found. I found a new sign that says left turn.
Oh
here.
Man, it's like we don't want you to get lost out there or something. Oh, that's great. So at night they'll be able to see all those orange ribbons, so that's not a problem, right?
Well, I'm glad you asked that too. We have clothesline clips at night that have reflective pieces that will reflect off your flashlight, and reflective tape on the clips here as well. So at night you're going to be able to see a little reflective ribbon on there. Here's the thing about course marking and paying attention to the turns. You as the runner, you are responsible to know the course. pay attention to the course. What'll happen is you'll have a pack of maybe 3 runners going down the road, right? And the person in the front is thinking, hey, the guys behind me, they're gonna tell me if I go the wrong way, because they obviously will let me know. And the guy in the back is thinking, well, these 2 people in front of me know where they're going, so I'm gonna follow them. And in the middle, the guy in the middle is just kind of going along and following along. So if we've had people go off course, it's usually not one person, it's usually a pack of 2 or a pack of 3 going off course together, because they're relying on each other. So you as a runner need to know which way and pay attention to the turns that are coming.
Now, Gonzo, that never happens if you have a pacer, right?
It happens all the time with the
What?
Yes, yes. Because the runner is relying on the pacer. The runner's like tired and thinking, well, my pacer is gonna let me know if there's a turn. And the pacer's thinking, well, this dude's a stud. He knows what he's doing. I'm gonna follow the runner. And so again, the same thing, you're relying on each other. So don't rely on your pacer, rely on yourself to pay attention and look for the turns. There are a lot of tools available for you to know where you are on the course before the race and even during the race as well. So before the race, there are videos. I've heard rumor.
Who shot those?
I heard that somebody went out and ran the entire course.
Get out of here.
And filmed, get this, every single turn of the course. There's a YouTube video out there, believe it or not. Cliffs and Meadows, that's me, by the way. Cliffs and Meadows did a montage of every single turn of the San Diego 100. I will put the link below. You need to go check them out. It's multiple videos. Between every aid station, we have videos showing you the turns. And something kind of cool is show your crew that. They can be watching the videos while you're out on the course, and they can kind of know what you're up to and what the course looks like. So some of the crews have had fun watching it that way as well. In addition to that, there is a GPX file, and that's a digital file on the website that you can download. You can download it onto your watch. You can also download it onto your phone. Gaia GPS app will let you download the GPX file, and so you can pull up on your phone exactly where you are on the course. There are maps of the entire course. There are several pages of maps, detailed maps. There is turn-by-turn written directions that somebody put together as well that shows a written description of the distances between every turn. There are so many tools available for you to know the course.
So no one's gonna get lost, right?
Well,
no one's going to get lost.
No.
All right, so we are here at Pioneer Mail. This is roughly mile 84 on your journey. Some of you will see this at night, some of you will see this during the day. So we're here to talk a little bit about tracking runners, numbers, how we handle keeping you as safe as we can out there.
So obviously all of our aid stations are super well stocked. They've got anything you'd want, from burgers to beer to carbs to veggie broth. But the main reason we have aid stations out here is to keep runners safe, to make sure they're accounted for, and to make sure we know where people are on the course at all times. We understand, we just talked about the fact that we have geo-trackers this year. They are new, so we are going to continue with our traditional timing. So that being said, let's talk a little bit about bibs. You can fold your bib, you don't have to if you want to. I usually fold mine because I'm so small, but if you want to fold them, that's great. What we want them to do, where they want them to be, is we want them on the front. So we want them either on your leg or on your waist or somewhere in front where they're visible to the people at the aid station. You will see at every aid station 2 people doing timing. So one will be checking people in and out, one will be recording times. So please, when you go by those folks, should be obvious of who they are. Check in, give them your number, say runner 140 in, and then when you check out of the aid station, say runner 140 out, so they know who's in, who's out, and who's maybe lingering for a little bit to take a little bit of a break. And we do not want the bibs on the back. So it's hard to see, it's hard to track. So please keep them on the front, wear them somewhere on the front. If you have one of those belts that holds bibs, that's great. Just make sure it's twisted up front when you come in and out of the aid station.
Okay, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about what happens if you don't have your day. So We are going to, every year, there's people that don't have their day and they have to drop. It's very, very, very important when you drop that you drop to the aid station captain and that you give that person your bib number. Physically hand them your bib. Make sure the aid station captain has your bib. That's how we know you're off the course. If you get into your car with your crew and drive home, if you hitch a ride and go home and we don't know you're off the course, we have a heart attack because we suddenly don't know where you are. So when you drop, if you need to, take your number, give it to your aid station captain. And the aid station captain then records the drop so we know exactly where you are. The other thing is we want to talk about cutoffs. So when you come in, we have cutoff times. Those are hard times. And if you have to be out of the aid station by the time the cutoff hits. So if you come in right when the cutoff hits, you're not going to be allowed to continue. Our aid station captains are also our eyes and ears out there. They are, they have 100% of our authority to pull you from the race if they think it's for your interest or for your safety. We all think we're tougher than we are because we're ultra runners, but they have all been run this race. They're all finishers. A lot of them are multiple time finishers. A lot of our volunteers are multiple time finishers. If they look at you and think it's not safe for you to go on, then they're going to pull you. We'll tell a quick story from here. Pioneer Mail to Sunrise on the second day is one of the more dangerous sections of the whole race because it's starting to get hot again. Mariella will have a sharp eye out if you aren't looking to have your day. We've twice had to evacuate people from the PCT and we do not have very good cell coverage between here and Sunrise. It's hard sometimes to get you off the course if it's not at an aid station. So please respect that. Please respect our aid station captains. If they're telling you something, it's because they've been through it. They're going to give you a lot of leeway. They know what a rough day looks like and they know what a DNF looks like. And so then they know the difference. So please respect that and just get in by the cutoff and leave. And then you don't got to worry about any of that.
Well before the cutoffs.
Hi everybody. Okay, so we're just about wrapped up. We are obviously, again, we told you we're here at Hopnonymous, who's a generous sponsor, and this is where we have our post-race party. When you get done with the race, the Saturday after, from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, come hang out with us. First beers on San Diego 100. Buy your volunteers a beer. Tell your war stories, and it's fantastic. We just are lucky enough that we have the proprietor of Hopnonymous here, Remy, and Remy has a special message for you.
Hey, hello everybody. We just wanted to tell you good luck for the race. We're super excited to host this party like every year, so we can't wait to have you all here. And don't forget, the special word for this year is panic!
Panic! Ah!